I asked you on TikTok the other day, what is the most disappointing album you've ever listened to and why? Here are some of the best answers. Okay, so I think we all saw this one coming. Probably the new Panic, says Diz Reviews Music. I don't think it can be disappointing when you didn't expect anything good to begin with. Like, don't get me wrong, Pray for the Wicked wasn't my most favourite album of all time, but it was commercially successful. It was huge. High Hopes was a massive song. So you can't really say it's a flop. But Viva Las Vengeance has just got no flair, no spark, no bitches. I really struggle to find a single moment that I enjoy on this album, and I'm not even just being mean for the sake of it. This next one is one that I thought was disappointing when it came out, but to be honest, I didn't have the guts to say that. DONDA by Kanye West. Now don't get me wrong, I think it's got some good moments, I think it's got some great tracks, but it's an incredibly long album and it was hyped up so much. What with the listening parties and the stem player, I really thought it was going to be the new peak, the peak Kanye West that we'd ever hear. And it's good, but I just don't think it's the best, like I was told it was going to be. This one actually surprised me more than most actually. Whole Lotta Red. Loads of people in my comment sections tell me to listen to Whole Lotta Red for my Album a Day series. So I thought the general consensus is that we all liked it, yeah? But apparently not. There must be a small subgroup of people that think it's disappointing? I'm genuinely interested as to why. Is it because it didn't live up to his previous albums? Or is it not as good as other albums in the same genre? I mean, let me know. I think this next answer is one of the most common ones you'll get if you ask someone who's generally interested in hip-hop. The Big Day by Chance the Rapper. Now, I've not actually listened to this album myself yet. Usually when a lot of people say an album is bad or disappointing, you'll get a small rebellion group arise and defend the album, claiming that it's actually quite good. I have heard none of that for this album. Never have I heard a good word spoken, uttered, or even whispered shamefully. And then finally one that I was doubtful of, but then I listened to the album, and now I agree, Gemini Rights by Steve Lacy. We all know Bad Habit from the TikToks, there's no denying that. If you've been on the internet this year, you will have heard a Steve Lacy song at least once. The singles and the way that they're being used in videos is making Bad Habit a really catchy song, one that will get stuck in your head regardless of how many times you listen to it. The problem is when you try and scale that up to a whole album, when I don't think the album was intended on being catchy earworm pop to begin with. I agree, the singles were so good, but the rest of the album, it's just not as catchy, and I just don't think people were expecting that. So I'll let you take the stage. What is the most disappointing album that you've ever listened to? You can either comment over here on YouTube, or you can go to my TikTok @JohnnyCheese, where I pose questions like this all of the time. Great chance to get involved, and maybe you'll feature in my next video. But until then, take care, goodbye.